Hello, you've caught me completely on my own in the Access office.
Nath's away on an exciting trip. Dave's away on the same exciting trip. And so I've got to do flipping everything. I've got to do the store video, I've got to make my own tea, I've got to send emails to people I'll never meet.
And I've got to film myself by myself, so excuse me if I can't tell whether or not the camera's in focus.
I feel like one of those video game protagonists, you know the ones, surrounded by bleating incompetence, juggling a main story mission and 14 side quests, saving the world while everyone else watches and goes about their pre-programmed AI routine of doing nothing forever.
Here are 7 video game protagonists who just thought, fine, I'll do it all myself.
First up is Geralt from The Witcher 3, a man who is the consummate badass. He slays monsters for fun, hacks down hordes of bandits, solves crimes with heightened Witcher senses, and saves the world a couple of times too.
That, to me, sounds like a full-time job. I mean, there's not much more you can load onto Geralt's plate, is there?
Oh, but there is. In addition to all of the above, the bumbling inhabitants of Redania think it's okay to cram Geralt's quest log with their idiot personal problems. I can't find my frying pan. Someone's burnt down my smithy. My son's gone missing and he's probably dead.
Do I look like I give a drowner's backside?
There was this one quest in Beauclair during the Blood and Wine DLC where Geralt had to stop what he was doing,
solving a series of brutal murders,
to retrieve, and I kid you not, the jewelled testicles of a revered statue. I'll pay you well, says the art curator, so fine, off we go, sniffing perfume through the streets until we reach the culprit's door, only to find...
This is not what it seems. Word of honor. I tripped, rolled, and tumbled, then landed where she already lay. I swear, this is all an unfortunate coincidence.
Got you, you rogue! Prepare for a shellacking, scallop! What the laugh's this? Rosalinda! One, I could forgive you, but 2 at one time!
Oh, so now I've got to deal with a domestic dispute as well, have I?
Got no time for this. Go home.
Yes, that'll be best. I'm done here.
I thank you for saving my skin. Let me keep the stones. I'll pay you. Grant me this, I beg you. They've made me young again.
Look, you see this armour, mate? It's Grandmaster Wolven armour. I'm level 49. That means I do not have time to fanny about with you and your performance issues now. Shut up and give me the goddamn statue balls.
Up next, it's Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid. Yes, Dave, you're back for this one skit, wearing the same clothes and being the same level of clean-shavenness as in every other tally shot. How do you do it? Anyway, Snake in Metal Gear Solid epitomises the I'll just do it all then protagonist. To be fair, Campbell tells him what's what as he's dropped off at Shadow Moses via submarine.
As usual, this is a one-man infiltration mission.
But still, that doesn't really excuse the ridiculous amount of busy work Snake has to cram into one afternoon in Alaska. Case in point, when you have to go all the way back to basically the beginning of the game to fetch a sniper rifle.
Look, I know you love Sniper Wolf, Otacon, but you have a stealth suit and I'm kind of busy trying to stop Meryl from dying, so do you think there's any chance that you could, just possibly...
For crying out loud, Otacon, Meryl is literally bleeding to death right now and I'm piddling about back in this area from 2 hours ago. Honourable mentions to when Snake has to shoot all the guards while Meryl just stands there, and also the bit where Snake activates Metal Gear Rex for the bad guys by heating a card key and then freezing a card key and then running back to the computer before it reverts to room temperature. And anything else you want done, Liquid? Any laundry? Need any milk from the corner shop? Oliver from Ni no Kuni is next up, a young wizard who does get a helping hand from teammates Esther and Swain, as well as a bunch of monsters he's beaten up and forced to fight for him. But outside of battle, when you're just flitting about running errands for people, Good God, the inhabitants of this other world are useless, aren't they? They've lost their enthusiasm, they've lost their kindness, they've lost their courage, they've lost their love, they've lost their ambition. Say, here's a tiny little boy whose mum's just died. Here, you, the boy with no mum, fancy taking on our emotional problems all at once and fixing them for us? What, there's a dark lord that wants to kill you as well, is there? Well, me first, me first.
Go away.
And as for that idiot who loses his diary, 4 times? And then makes you go and fetch it even though he knows exactly where it is? Give me strength.
You know when you wake up after a couple of centuries of cryosleep and your son's being kidnapped and the world's a stinking bowl of irradiated poo?
I hate it when that happens, especially when, on top of tracking down your missing offspring and trying not to die of a nuclear-powered common cold, you're tasked with rebuilding the world and keeping everyone in it happy and planting crops and killing raiders and calming the political tensions between 4 idiot groups of self-absorbed hypocrites and clearing out skyscrapers full of super mutants, and good lord. To be fair, one of the best things about Fallout 4 and any Bethesda Studios open world RPG is that you are the most important person in the universe. You're the chosen one, the catalyst for change, the storm that alters the world forever.
But what that also means is that everyone else is totally incapable of doing anything unless you're there to supervise.
Or better still, just do everything. Take the Minutemen for instance. If it wasn't for you helping them reach Sanctuary and single-handedly building them a settlement and recruiting members and retaking their castle from a bloody Mirelurk queen.
She took 5 shots from a Fat Man launcher, and even then I had to chip off the last inch of her health with a pistol.
I mean, what's Preston Garvey been doing the entire time I was in cryosleep? Hiding? Getting his people killed? I mean, he tells me what to do and how to do it, so why not just bloody do it yourself? As if I haven't got better things to do, Preston.
Like killing Marcy Long again.
Entry number 5 is Kratos from God of War. Now, we can see from PS4 God of War that our daddy of the deities has become an actual daddy too, training his son to presumably help him not have to do on his own everything he had to do in God of Wars 1 to 3, Ascension, Chains of Olympus and Ghost of Sparta, which was a lot, mainly killing, yes, with the odd bit of puzzle platforming thrown in, but really Kratos has pretty much single-handedly sent all of Greek mythology to the underworld, which itself will be in chaos after Kratos killed Hades too.
Poseidon, Zeus, Hercules, that statue thing from the beginning of God of War 2, Ares, Hermes, Titan, Gaia.
He's done them all, single-handedly ending the ceaseless bickering between gods and titans by ensuring there's no one left to bicker with. What a guy. Our penultimate entry this week is one Ashe Riot, whom you probably don't remember from Vagrant Story back on PS1. This guy is a one-man wrecking ball. Yes, his bum's hanging out, and yes, he's missed a bit with his comb, but in terms of strutting through a gorgeous fantasy city and killing everything that lives there, you can't get any better.
More impressive is that Riot appeared in an age when every RPG was trying to be Final Fantasy and so had about 47 characters to choose from.
Not so with Vagrant Story. We just need the one, thank you very much. Not only does he slay a path through countless dragons, minotaurs, demons and phantoms, but he makes all his own weapons and armour too. It's a beautifully technical system, working the qualities of one blade into another and adding gems and melting down old stuff, fusing it with new and producing amazing original creations with which to take down some of the toughest RPG bosses you'll ever come across.
That's pretty impressive, isn't it? Isn't it?
Ashe Riot really is a one-man army, kicking ass while everyone else just stands about wearing nice clothes and looking pretty in cutscenes. Last up, we've got a true hero. Imagine calling a plumber round to your house to fix your toilet, only zombie rats come flying out of it and he has to kill them all using a screwdriver. That's basically Isaac Clarke in Dead Space. He's not a soldier, he doesn't do guns or taking cover or shouting or being handsome. He's an engineer brought in to fix a problem with the mining ship USG Ishimura when loads more problems drop from the ceiling with spiky bits attached.
There's a brilliantly clunky, laborious quality to everything that Isaac Clarke does, from shooting monsters to stamping on their dead bits to just moving about.
There's nothing slick or cinematic about it, which is why the fact he single-handedly sorts everything the hell out on a doomed ship full of hideous reanimated corpses, from chopping all their legs off to upgrading his suit to bending his mind around solving puzzles in zero gravity, means he deserves his place at the head of this list. Thank God for you, Isaac. Everyone else in Dead Space is flipping useless. So there we go, 7 video game protagonists who just did everything themselves. Let us know in the comments if you agree with this list. Give us a like, please, because I've had to work really hard this week instead of just hard. And join us again next week for another Friday feature. Thanks for watching.